Hey, what's up, Facebook? Man, I want to do a video and I want to give a shout out to two people, two very important people in my life that raised me, my father and my mother. My father, Roy, my mother, Gail. And the reason why I want to give them a special shout out, because with all these things that's going on in the world, we're looking at a lot of these racial issues, just a lot going on right now. And myself having two kids, you know, I'm realizing that a lot of my point of views, a lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people don't agree with it just because of how I look. They think that I should think the way they think. And unfortunately, guys, I'm just the type of person, I make the best decisions for myself and my family, and I know how to think for myself. And I get a lot of that from my parents. And the reason why I say this, because when I look at and see what's going on, these issues that are happening, they've always been here, right? They were here when my grandparents was here, and there was whole lot worse. You know, we go back 50, 100 plus years. But when it comes to my parents, when they raised me and my brother and my sister, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? A lot of the stuff that people are talking about, we're talking about oppression and we don't have equal opportunities and certain things we can't do because of who we are and how we look. And my parents have never instilled that in none of their kids. I cannot even recall my parents talking about racial issues, And I said, you know what? Is it, was it, I'm not gonna say was it wrong. Should my mama and daddy talk to us about it and let us know the importance of it? Or did they keep it away from us because they didn't want us to instill that into our minds and allow that type of mindset to hold us back? Oh, you're black, so life is going to be unfair. You're black, you're not going to have the same opportunities. And guys, at the end of the day, anybody that's any color, from any walks of life, can find a reason why life is not fair. Life isn't fair for a bunch of people, no matter who you are. Okay? But my thing about it is, like, my parents, they never instilled that in us. They never told us that, we was gonna be mistreated because of, how we looked. My dad never sat us down and told us that, be careful with the police, because I feel like the way they raised us, if we, did what we were supposed to do as, normal people, and listen to your authority, I don't think we would have to worry about those issues. So I honestly believe when we talk about these things, we are actually sometimes doing more harm than good, because what we're doing now is teaching certain people that you don't have this opportunity, you don't have that opportunity, you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't do this, you can't do that. But at the end of the day, there's a bunch of people that can say that. There are not, you know, that don't look like me, okay, or don't come from the same background as me. So, like I said, I just want to just thank my parents, man, because I've seen my mom. I actually went to the same high school my mom went to. When my mom went, she said it was like five black people in the whole school when she went in the 70s. And I asked my mom, I said, did they mistreat you? My mom said, no, they didn't mistreat us. They treated us just like any other student. And I remember when on the flip side, when I went to the same high school, there were three white brothers, Timothy, Brandon, and I forgot the other brother's name. But Timothy was like, he was in my class we went to the same elementary school, middle school. So this was our friend. Like, these were our neighborhood friends. We didn't look at them as the white boys. They were just Timothy, Brandon, and I forgot the other, but he was way younger than them. But they were just a part of the community. And they went to the same elementary school we did, the same high school we did, and we did not look at them as white people or white. We went to their house. They used to come to our house, and that's just the way it was. And they were like the only few white families in the community, and they were the only white students that went to the same elementary and high school as a 99.9% black school. So it's just like, you know, I think, man, sometimes when we talk about these things too much, and I really believe it can start to poison someone's mind when you tell them that, when you use their skin color of why they can't do something. Guys, I mean, anybody can say that. Anybody can say that. I'm pretty sure there's things that white people can say that's not fair, and they're white. I'm pretty sure there's things that Hispanic people and Asian people can say that's not fair. Life isn't fair, but we shouldn't let that hold us back from reaching our goals. And thank you again to my parents, Roy and Gail, for not instilling that into their kids. Not telling their kids that just because you're black, you can't do something. That's not how they raised us. That's not how they talked in our house. And maybe that's why, it rubs off me that way, because I was not raised that way. I didn't hear that in our house. We didn't come home hearing about racial issues, and and again, if my parents talked about it, they probably talked about it amongst themselves, but they didn't talk about it to us. And that's just real talk, guys. That's just the way it was in our house. And I think a lot of things, I'm not going to say all things, because there's a lot of influence in the real world, okay? I don't like when people say, oh, it starts in the house. For the most part, it does, but we have a lot of influence in the open world. But for the most part, in my household growing up, this was not a casual conversation. This was not conversations that were had in our house. And I really thank my parents for that, because everything in my life that I have and I've worked for, and the life that I've been able to provide for my family, I don't think it had nothing to do with the color of my skin. I don't. Not to say it might have not been easier if I was white, but if it was, maybe there was something else that could probably been harder in my life. There's a lot of white people that are white, but they're abused in their own house. Me and my brothers and sisters didn't go through that. We went. I mean, and these are things that happen. There are people that are kids that are mistreated, that are physically abused, molested, okay, by their own parents. We didn't deal with that. Kids growing up in all kids of color that are growing up in homes that the parents are on drugs and abusive relationships. We didn't go through that. We got disciplined, but we were not abused. My parents were not on drugs. My parents were two hardworking people that went to work to take care of their family. Okay? We didn't grow up in that type of household. And I thank my parents so much for that. And I think, that's why they don't have to worry about their kids, because of what rubbed off on us from them. So this is my video. Thanks again. Mom, Dad, love you. See y'all in the next one.